Hey everyone, it's Chris here, and I'm coming to you live from my basement right now. And go away, I'm doing stuff right now here, and I am I'm making this video to talk about the recently released trailer for Sunset Overdrive, which actually came out. I think it was today, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm here to sort of give my impressions, my sort of musings on the whole thing. So I'm gonna play a quick clip for if you haven't seen it already. If so, I'm gonna put the link in the description of the actual trailer so that you can check it out.
Traversing through Sunset City is all about one word: velocity. Jump on a car, grind on a power line, run along walls, all within a matter of seconds to get a tactical advantage against enemies. Plus, it's a hell of a lot more fun than cowering behind a crate.
Now, I was always just sort of excited for this game. I was always sort of looking forward to Sunset Overdrive coming out, and the camera's doing this weird auto zoom thing right now. I don't even know what it's doing. We're actually recording on this? Good, because last time I tried this, I was recording on Audacity for 10 minutes before I realized that the frickin' movie maker wasn't actually recording. So, yeah, that was not nice. Oh, jeez. But, anyways, now we're gonna do this take 2 now, and hopefully it's gonna be better. So, in the previous reveal for Sunset Overdrive was in 2013, I believe, where they did the CGI trailer at E3. But now that Insomniac has released a sort of the actual gameplay trailer, and I have to say that I'm blown away by this game. I mean, whenever I think about it, I can't help but smile about it, simply because my expectations were completely met with this game. Like, I expected an open world third-person shooter in which you go around and basically cleanse all the zombies that have been infesting this town. And you know what? That has been met and has been exceeded by this company. Insomniac has done such a great job with this so far. And considering the fact that we still have quite a few more months until its release, I know that more information is probably going to be given at E3 in June. So, what I think about this is that this game is wild. It's absolutely insane. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's violent, but it's also zany, it's also wacky. It's the same thing. It's like someone took Crackdown and they took Saints Row and they smashed it together and sort of did like this weird like vodka mixer and stuff like that that just come out, and that's this game here. That's what you pour into that glass. You can enjoy a nice cool drink of that overcharge, and that's the point of the game. That's the plot of this game. Is that, well, it's kind of stupid to tell the truth, but you know what? A stupid fun plot for a stupid fun game. I'm completely fine with it. Is that this entire city? You're in a place called Sunset City, which is the point of the game, and it's the setting of the game. And basically, the company that has like a major monopoly on this place creates this energy drink, which is called Overcharge Delirium XT, and I can't believe I remembered all that. And basically, when you drink it, you turn into a mutant or a zombie, which is known as the OD, you know, like you OD on drugs and stuff like that. So basically, you're a guy or a girl that has basically arrived on the scene and just basically go nuts because the company realized that they screwed up and they're now trying to get rid of it. And you're trying to do pretty much the same thing with any means necessary. And I have to compliment the game on so far is that I'm really, really looking forward to the parkour aspect of it. I'm really looking forward to the fact that you actually have to keep moving, or else you're going to end up kind of dead, in the sense. In that it promotes player movement, it promotes speed, and it promotes a little bit of lateral thinking as well, because it changes the way that you can approach a situation. And I've also noticed that that this game sort of takes aspects from different games. I mean, people right off the bat when they saw the game, like especially on like NeoGAF, they think that, ooh, you know what, it's like Infamous Second Son. They ripped that off. Well, I disagree with that. Not just because I'm an Xbox guy, because I'm in the Xbox party. You know, I want to pick up an Xbox One simply because of all the great games. I'll get back to that soon. Actually, I don't need to touch on that. There are so many great games I would like to do, but if anything, it just seems that this game is taking more aspects from previous games that have come out of Insomniac's library, like most notably Ratchet and Clank, in the sense that it's in the way that you can get around, like using grinding, or you can use overhead wires and stuff like that. Or you just basically your character sort of hangs on the wire, kind of like Booker DeWitt when he's going around Columbia. Like you have a gun in one hand and you just got like your grappling hook, and you're just sliding down here, nailing zombies all the way, or nailing mutants. Pardon me, I'm not going to use the Z word here. And that seems to be something that's coming from there. But also at the same time, it seems that it's channeling more Crackdown. And I'll play the clips here.
So the portions from Crackdown I've noticed seem to be the general gunplay, jumping, exaggerated physics, and the fact that you're in a third-person perspective, not even zooming in all the way, blowing up things and all that sort of fun thing. The second aspect seems to be taken more from Jet Set Radio. I'm using Jet Grind Radio here as the example of the grinding mechanics that are used in there, and also the general lack of physics and the colorful backgrounds of it all. The third, which is from Insomniac's own games library, the Ratchet & Clank series, which also had a heavy emphasis on grinding, wacky locale, and the usage of the crazy weapons, and that's the sort of thing that I've generally noticed from all those elements put together, more so than Infamous.
So you can see from that little comparison there, those quick jumps between all that stuff, that it seems the more resembling Crackdown than Infamous, simply because it's a third-person shooter, true, that uses guns and uses the parkour element. And the sort of jumping and all that. You don't have superpowers, not in the strictest sense. The game has something called amps, which is something like it's kind of like a superpower, but in the context of the game, it's just like this weird freaking stuff that has no explanation, but is perfectly accepted by everyone. And you know what? That's okay. This game aims to break the fourth wall in so many ways. Actually, one thing I really liked about this thing is that when you die, apparently the developers had this thing that's called, well, they call it in the trailer Next Generation Respawning, and I'm going to show that to you right here.
Even when you die, you're gonna love it. Welcome to Next Gen Respawning. Hell!
You know what? I'm actually curious to see just how many different animations that they actually have for this game. It would be interesting to see how they can potentially make dying a lot of fun. Or like you would actually want to almost purposely die just to see what sort of weird and wacky animation you got next. I think my favorite one is the one where the character is thrown out of the truck, and it's like this two-dimensional truck that just zooms on out of there like the cartoony thing that it is. Now I'll talk a little bit about what the developers have actually confirmed about this. And the thing that comes to mind the most for me is the fact that you don't have a set character, and that there is no real main character. You are the character, but you can sort of customize it, whether or not it's male, female. You can customize the hair, clothing, skin color, ethnicity, whatever you really want to do. So there is no limiting factor there. So you have that. Your character is also fully voiced, whether it's a male or a female, but they have no name, which is kind of strange, but at the same time, kind of makes sense for, this open world sort of game. Like in the sort of sense that this is your story, but you're just there to have fun. You're not there to sort of like write the epics or something like that. They do say there is some sort of character development that'll take place throughout the entire game. So we're gonna see how that works. How are we on time right now? Okay, we're almost at the 10-minute mark. That's good. Now, another thing is there is going to be multiplayer, as we saw in the 2013 E3 video. So that's got that going for it. So we know that's going to happen. And another thing I really like is that if I already talked about the weapon crafting or not. And yeah, I think I already did, but
Alright, as it turns out I actually haven't. This game's weapon variety is very wide, and it seems that they're really going for the zany sort of crafting, Dead Rising sort of ramshackle sort of thing. You saw the Roman candle launcher, you saw the Captain A had the bowling ball launcher and all that. It seems that you can actually grab resources, put them all together, and make it super sort of combined deadly weapon system, and I really like that about this game.
That was good, but what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, we know some of the characters that are going to be in the game, but the one that stands out the most to me is the mascot of the company that makes the drink in the game. His name is Fizzy, and I just have one thing to show you about Fizzy. So play the clip.
This is only a tiny slice of the pie, but we're gonna wait till later to show you more.
Get ready to die, asshole!
I like this guy already. He's the sort of guy that you would actually love to hate in this game, simply because I get the impression that he's there to basically taunt you throughout this entire process. And while this is going on, of course, you're there's a boss battle that happens in the game where you're just basically swinging around up hundreds of stories above the actual ground, and you're basically just blasting away at this this plush like blimp sort of thing, and it talks to you, and he's got laser eyes, as you saw back there, which is kind of cool, and you can take him down like Hindenburg style, like you got the superstructure showing he's on fire and all that, and that sort of thing is kind of cool because I don't know if that's like a final boss or something like that, but I don't think he is. And there's got to be more to it than that. And the different enemy types are kind of cool. Like, and the ones that they were basically showing throughout the game so far have been like the standard grunt sort of thing. They're the ones that probably have low HP, low attack, but they're pretty fast, and if they swarm you, you're pretty much done for. But they showed off a couple of the advanced classes like that, and that was pretty good as well, to show that there's some variety, and there's plenty more that they haven't shown us. And the factions are cool. Like you have the factions like a group of like Boy Scout samurais or live action role players. And hey, Skypey, I'll get to that later. That is pretty cool though. Hey pal, and if you saw this, you just got on YouTube, so exposure. But that sort of thing's going on. So basically, if I'm closing the 10-minute mark, I just want to wrap up by saying that this game is great so far. This game is making a perfect first impression. If you go to almost any website, barring the sort of things that say that, you know what, I'm not going to buy this simply because it's on Xbox One, this game is awesome. It's looking great. I would love to see some more gameplay for this, simply because you know what it is? It's fun. And you know what? That's what a game needs to be. Fun. Doesn't need to be about pixels. It doesn't need to be about cinematics, story writing. Granted, I love story writing in the game, but sometimes you just need some mindless fun. And the thing is, though, it's not necessarily vulgar. Not very vulgar. I mean, that's one of the things that turned me off of Saints Row 4. I don't know. Or Saints Row in general. It was like all very base humor. Let's not even talk about, you know, the dildo sword in Saints Row 3. That's stuff right there. But this game draws you in. It's entertaining. It's fun, and you know it's what. And according to Insomniac itself, it's what they've been building up to for all this time. And to say that, and to sort of say that they're even giving another console a try, that says a lot to them, that they wanted to well, basically share that with us. Like, I'm honored, if anything, that they would even consider going to the Xbox. You actually know what it was. Is what, according to what was put out by the company themselves, and I got this from NeoGAF, you're free to check that out for validity and stuff like that, was that Sony was actually requesting that Insomniac surrender proprietary rights of the game over to the actual company itself. And Insomniac wasn't exactly looking forward to that. So Microsoft, on the other hand, has been a lot more accommodating to them and actually allowed them to retain their independent rights for the game, and allowed it in, I think this is almost a direct quote, let Insomniac be Insomniac. And that's the sort of thing that it was good, because the company let the developer be the developer. And you know what? If that's the case, if you can let developers be themselves, I'm pretty sure that you'd be seeing some pretty fantastic things that have been going around. Is there anything I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I want to have like a little quibble on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Yay! Now, I was going to make something like this a couple days ago, but I was lazy. I didn't do anything like that. So I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to keep it brief in that sort of nature. Is that the game is Call of Duty. Truthfully is. But there are some interesting twists on it. Hey, you know what? I love Kevin Spacey. So, you know what? And see him in the sort of game almost has almost like a House of Cards sort of feel to it. I'm going to play a clip from that just simply because Kevin Spacey, right?
These countries don't have the most basic building blocks to support a democracy. Little things like we ought to be tolerant of those who disagree with us. We ought to be tolerant of those who worship a different god than us. That a journalist ought to be able to disagree with the president. And you think that you can just march into these countries based on some fundamentalist religious principles, drop a few bombs, topple a dictator, and start a democracy?
He's a great actor. There's not much to say about it. The game itself seemed to have a couple of little turns, but I called this a long time ago. I was saying, basically to friends who were basically, I think this was around just before the first Black Ops was released. And I said to them, you know what, there's only two directions that Call of Duty can go from this point. Either into Vietnam or into space, pretty much. And you know what, both of that happen if you're willing to count ghosts. And the only thing they got left is the future. So you know what, they pretty much cemented themselves in sort of being a kind of a fast-paced run and gun, aim down sights, Halo sort of game. And well, I gotta see some more gameplay for that before I can truly make a call. It does look different, but at the same time, it still looks like Call of Duty. A lot of set pieces, probably scripted movements and all that. But you know what? It's still pretty early. I would like to see some more before I make a pretty good call on that. But you know what? At the very least, if the game sucks, it's got Kevin Spacey. He can make any role great, right?
People are insane. They just like talking to salesmen.
Don't.
I'm sorry. Why? Because I don't like you.
So, this is where I'll be cutting it right now, and I hope that I was able to share some of my thoughts about Sunset Overdrive. I'm looking forward to it. I really want to get this game. It's awesome, and at the very least, give it a try. It might even surprise you when it comes out. When it comes out, of course. And I'll get back to work at uploading the rest of that Battlefield 4 footage, because I know you guys are really looking forward to that, seeing my pain as I play that crappy campaign. And I played the multiplayer as well, and I don't even think you need me to say anything about it. That hasn't been said about it already. The game speaks for itself. Don't screw up Battlefront, DICE. It's all we've got left. You gotta learn. You gotta make it better for us. So anyways, I'm not gonna ramble any longer, so I'm gonna cut it off here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. This is Actual, and I am signing off.